of the mind, of the spirit and body. And we've been having this conversation now. We had a conversation, we began with understanding stress and stress management, being able to understand what is mental wellness, what is the wellness of the body, how can I be able to understand my wellness in the spirit. And we've been in a series now of understanding mental wellness. And last time we talked about two mental health conditions. We talked about depression and bipolar. I believe we've been able to understand what those two are. Today I want us to have to answer or to ask this. I know a question we ask our loved ones. This is a question we ask ourselves sometimes. This is a question everywhere. When someone commits suicide, a lot is left, especially with the people that are loved ones or close to that person. People are left wondering, why suicide? Was it the only way? Was it the only option? Is it the only thing that you could have done? And of course, there are statements that are made, and sometimes even we make them directly, and we tell those people that you are being selfish, or you are being a coward. Why is it that you want to end your life? So the question today that we'll be asking, and we will have this maybe today and next week, is suicide the only way? So maybe let's also understand, what is suicide? Why do people get those suicidal thoughts? How does someone get there? How can I be able to even understand that somebody is suicidal so that I can be able to intervene? Because most of the times, suicide just gets us by surprise, especially those of us who are living, we are living more life and maybe have not had any mental health issue. Suicide finds us as a surprise. And you hear these conversations, people saying that he was doing so well or she was doing so well. Why is it that they did this? Why is it that they chose this path? And of course, in the age of social media, writing suicidal messages or chats or even making suicidal videos every other time. And if you see the level of ridicule online, you can tell that we are in a society does not really understand mental health. The truth is that a person who has already reached the level of having suicidal thoughts is sick. So that person is sick. They are sick like any other illness. I know, of course, we are also coming from a place where we have looked at suicide as a curse. Some churches don't even accept to do the final service for this person who has committed suicide. Those churches that bring bodies to the church will not even want to bring that body to the church because this person is counted or is thought to have killed themselves willingly. Allow me to say this as a mental health expert, that there is no one who kills themselves willingly. If you cannot even stab yourself or cut yourself with a razor blade, why would you shoot yourself if you're normal? Why would you take medication? If just taking simple medication like paracetamol or taking even Piriton, sometimes swallowing that medication, sometimes it's something that is very hard when you're okay, when you're normal. But when this person who is taking a bottle of jig, taking a Harpic, a whole container, or taking an overdose, you can be sure then this person is not okay. So allow me to say that there is no one in their normal 100% mental status who will commit suicide or who will kill themselves or even kill another, because suicide goes beyond only killing yourself, because the ideations come even in terms of eliminating people. And of course, we've heard of mass shootings, people who come and kill everyone, suicide cases. I know, of course, the government and the law will call it homicide, but most of the times it is a person who has had these mental issues for a long time, planned and thought about it clearly. So it is having ideations of eliminating your own life, that is suicide, sorry, or even attempting. So we will talk a little bit about suicidal ideations today, so that we can be able to understand, because there is no person who commits suicide abruptly. It is normally a prolonged period of time. Somebody has been thinking about this, they have been talking about it once in a while, or maybe they have been writing about it some. Them were not able to pick the cues and be able to assist them. So suicidal ideations, of course, involve actively planning suicide, which does not necessarily indicate a person has the intention to end their life. So there is a difference between the ideations and being actively planning. Of course, when you are planning, what you do is that you find yourself, of course, you're planning on what you will use, and you're planning on issues of how maybe even you will be buried and all these things. So how can we be able to understand our loved ones, or maybe come to that as an how is to this level for a normal person to get to a level of feeling suicidal? They have gone through some mental illness or challenge that has challenged their mental capacity, or they're in a painful situation that has challenged them, and because of this mental I talked about we talked about stress, we've talked about abuse, issues of one of the great challenge that is affecting many. Of course, when a child is criticized, highly criticized when they are young. Another of suicide, or even those is bullying, and bullying can happen at any age. It can happen as early as 5, 7 years, or the 10, and especially their teenage years, when young people are trying to fight this or just to understand who they are. So yes, all those issues will be contributors. I am not saying that is the only way. Remember, it is a connection of many other stages. Remember, what happens is that when one is either stressed out or undergoing depression, they may try to self-treat, and sometimes the self-treatment may be drug and substance use, exposed to wanting to even, because you've lost your one. Come back, we were talking about get suicidal ideations. I talked about challenges of abuse, sometimes bullying that happens a lot among children. One of the things I remember we grew up enjoying a lot is people making fun of each other. It looks a very innocent conversation, a very innocent thing, because you will laugh about it. Things like when we tell children, like, your eyes are like a ball, or you have thin legs, or you are fat like a tank. You know, those look very innocent, laughable. It is something that we can laugh about. Most of the times we even do it, and we constantly using them, and they become a norm. Yet this person, keep telling this information is time, and what creates in the life of that person is that they are different. They are not as others. So there is this inner desire of being this person that will be loved, will be appreciated, will be looked at as the best. And then there is the other challenge of parents comparing children. And maybe one child is performing better than the other in school, and this is a trend across the world. There is always appreciating that one who does better than the other, and unknowingly, allow me to say this, sometimes it is unknowingly, as you appreciate the one doing, there is always a of using to reprimand this one who is not doing well. And of course the child now constantly, and remember, they can never be them because they are unique. They have been created uniquely. So there is no way I can be like my elder sister. I am a last born in my family. as much as my parents would have wanted me to be like them, I could never be them. So like this one, they are not important. And of course, that not being accepted, affirmed, loved pushes the child to this ideation of suicide. Other challenges, it is rivalry that is very common. Families, again, especially for children who are closely following each other, sometimes because of the parent maybe not being able to be aware. When a younger child is born, we tend to neglect the older one, although they are all children. Our average age gap of our children is 1 to 3 years. That is basically meaning that if my firstborn is 3 years, the secondborn is 1, or maybe the secondborn, or maybe the firstborn is 4, and the secondborn, or the thirdborn will just be around maybe 6 years. That is just that all these are children. So when the younger baby comes and we put too much attention on the child and forget the others, we create, from that inception, from as young as they are, we create a sibling rivalry. A child, because in their innocence, they look at this one who has come as a rival. They look at this person as an intruder. They have come to take my space. I was supposed to be the one being given this attention. I cannot be able to get this attention from my parents because you're here. When, as parents, we realize that the child who is younger is being attacked by the older, we tend to protect the younger. And we are not able to also be able to stand and protect this older one. And in the process, of course, so the older child looks at the younger one as an intruder who has even taken away the love of the parent. So again, how can we be able to balance that? If that is not taken care of, even when these children are adults, I'm talking about even in the adulthood of 40, 30, 50 years, rivalry is still left. And some people are not able to manage that completely. Suicidal ideations, how do they come in? Someone feels, I am not wanted. This one is the most wanted in our family because they are the ones who do better. They are the ones who perform. They are the ones who are doing well. So they are the ones who are needed. The other challenge that, allow me, I am just trying to be as as we can, and I am not saying that those are specifically the situations, but these are some of the issues that I am able to experience in my interactions, of course, with patients who have had suicidal ideations. The other one is parents, relationship between a mother and a father. Sometimes we even tell children that this is about me and your father. You're not supposed to be part of it. But allow me to say that our relationship as husband and wife has a direct effect on the children. So if the children are in an environment where they are seeing their parents fighting almost every other time, or quarreling, or throwing words, hurtful words to each other, in fact, unfortunately, the younger children who they start thinking that their existence, because the ideal situation in the mind of a child at that time, imagining mom and dad were okay. But because I was born, I think I am the one who brought all these problems. So it is better if I am not there. Maybe they can be able to love on each other. That is their little mind being able to tell them that. And of course, sometimes we've had children as young as 9, 8 years, 10 years committing suicide. And sometimes we don't know what is this that has happened to them. Sometimes it is those conflicts, heated conflicts that are in the house. And there are so much, and we are doing them openly, because I also feel like as a society we have become very selfish. It is about me. If my rights, if my desires are not met, I have, regardless of who is our younger kids, who of course will be affected more. I was talking to some people yesterday, and I was talking to a couple who are intending to get married, and I was telling them, a woman can say, going to my home, and a man can say, I am going to my parents. But the moment you have brought children, which is home that them they will go to, when you have gone back to your mother, so where do the children go? Their home is this home that you are wife. When our marriages are affected, when our relationships are affected, what happens is direct effect on the mental health of the child. And of course, these are key indicators of suicide, and they affect many children. Now, the challenge is that, remember, it started as that domestic, but time now, because their self-esteem has been affected, their self-worth has been affected. When they go to school, because they are not performing well, a lot of criticism on them. Maybe they are being criticized. Everybody maybe now is looking and seeing the deficiency in the process. That mental health issue continues getting amplified, and the more the person starts feeling unworthy. So although we may be looking and seeing some, there will be issues. Of course, other issues, it is the pressure that the pressure they have of performance, and especially the pressure we give sometimes to our children of performing. Academic pressure, pressure at work. You have been given so much, yet you are not having the mental capacity to be able to withstand. And especially when many children are not trained to work when they are younger. And of course, at high school or after high school, all this workload that they are supposed to do and perform. Yet when they were younger, they were not exposed to because there are some who literally take the book and do the homework. So when the teacher has marked, who is the teacher marking for? Is the teacher marking for the child, or is the teacher marking for you? We are in the CBC time in Kenya, and children are given homeworks, activities to go and do at home with their parents. And sometimes you see the parent taking the whole assignment and doing by themselves. So maybe it was a knitting exercise, or they were supposed to draw something, or they were supposed to do an activity, work activity. So when it is the parent that has done, so what have you told that child? They are not able to do anything, and they have to be assisted. So by the time they are growing and becoming teenagers and adults, they don't have the belief in themselves that they can be able to produce anything of importance. So again, that lowers their self-worth. It lowers confidence. It lowers their esteem, because they feel like they are not good enough. everything. And of course, remember, they are meeting other children who have been equipped, other children who have been who know how to do things, and when they compare themselves with them, they realize, of course, I am deficient in this. That deficiency and criticism and all has a way of sinking children into, of course, suicidal thoughts. So again, if we were to get into the academic performance and all, and the way the aspect of money, so I'm defined by how much I earn, or the car I drive, or the house I'm living in. When we describe life in terms of material possessions, definitely again there will be a problem, because the truth, not everybody will get those things. Not everybody will be able to excel. Not every child will be able to have a lot of money. It is not everyone will be able to live that luxurious life. So they are not able to achieve those things, that they are not worthy enough. So if that is the message we are passing to them every other time, of course, some starts feeling worthless. Those, of course, will. I am still trying to explain where these suicidal ideas come from. Some health issues, suicidal, of course, just the thought of I have this sickness, I have to take medicine every day for the rest of my life. These are sicknesses that expose many people to suicidal thoughts. It also depends with how the news of that sickness was given to them. Sometimes we are not sensitive enough when we are giving such information to patients. We give the information abruptly without preparation. That person an unstable state. The other one, of course, is the issue of substance. Allow me to mention we are also living in a society that has normalized alcoholism, and many people are to levels of extreme alcoholism, thinking that it is a way of entertainment. Affected. So I began it thinking it's entertainment, but with it I cannot be able to contain the alcohol levels. I cannot be able to contain that alcohol in my system. So I am now either not able to work, I'm not able to perform. Maybe I was up in the I am already a star, but because of this alcoholism, now it is already taking away all the glory that I was having. So being able to balance between those two, someone is going to be exposed to issues of alcoholism. There is a challenge also of instant fame, and this has affected of our celebrities, people, and allow me to say in quotes celebrities, because sometimes we give ourselves that name, or people give us that name when we are not even celebs. So the instant fame, sometimes people are not able to manage that fame. You are able to manage the money, you are not able to manage the fame that comes with being known by everyone. Of course, you have to maintain this new status that you are not even prepared for, and because maybe you don't also have a good support system to guide you on what to do and where to go and how to even especially handle money that comes with fame. Many people have lost their lives because of instant fame. You're not able to handle that glory, and it destroys you. Another a common one, and I know many of us, even the conversation we are having, we are doing it online, cyberbullying. We have become experts in the area of cyberbullying. It doesn't matter who you see, you want to say hurtful words, and you don't care whether that word you just wrote, how is it going to affect that. Just understand as you write that hurtful comment, knowing that that hurtful comment can be able to send somebody to their grave. And many have been sent to their grave. Many have committed suicide because of the comments that we send online, on Twitter, on Facebook, on WhatsApp. And sometimes we get somebody, and it's, I don't know why we imagine somebody in the limelight, they will not be affected by the words that we speak. I don't know why we have become so hateful on our keyboards. I don't know why as a society we have become so hateful to the point that we write anything. We can expose body at whatever level. The moment we are able to just get a little negative information about us, a person who is in the limelight, we are going to pour it everywhere. And we don't care whether the person has children, whether they have family, but we will just see everything we want out there. And of course there is the blogging that are money. There is the vlogging. So of some, I know, of course, the moment I place it in my accounts, I am to get, yes, you will. Why money at the expense of someone else's life? So these are things we are innocently, and we will talk about like they are not hurting anyone. The bloggers who like giving stories and writing stories about people. Sometimes it is just that story of yours that you think was very juicy, that you think that really that story was the best that you ever gave. Story can cost someone's life. And it is happening a lot. Our time now when everything is happening in the internet, I pray be able to become a little bit sensitive. And the worst part of it is that when now that person kills themselves, we call them cowards. When that person commits suicide, we call them selfish. That person goes and maybe kills the whole family because of course their mental health has been affected and their mind is not working anymore normally as a normal person. We will condemn them, and we continue, we will make sure that those how they committed suicide is trading on our accounts. At what cost? Yes, I know we are looking for money, but do we look for money at the expense of other people's? Yes, suicide is real. It is affecting people. It is affecting families. It is affecting many. So even as we continue with our conversation today, and maybe you may be in that place and you're feeling you're in that place where you are almost having those suicidal thoughts, or maybe you would want to understand how loved one who is having suicidal thoughts. Of course, all those things we have talked, we are talking about the causes, some of the causes, and I've tried my best practical as I can. I hope to mention the issue of this cause mental in the to suicide thoughts. So these things again, we try our best, of course, and not we are almost moving to a point we are making mental health issues. Someone is victimized because of sharing maybe health status, and of course we want to talk about, make it trend, but it is hurtful. It is fatal. It can make someone kill themselves. It can make somebody end life, and it is, unfortunately, sometimes it is not only their life. Sometimes they end their life and the life of others. We have seen people who get into malls and shoot people. Some of them, they are just cases, and that is the only way of expressing the pain. And allow me to say, most of the times when someone if we can be able to as much, the better. The lives of other people are going to be assisted and helped. So allow me to just end this one there, and in our next conversation on Tuesday we will be talking about symptoms, and we will be also talk about prevention. How can we understand a person who is suicidal and be able to prevent our loved ones, our friends, our family, people around us? And even when someone shares their story and you are able to feel that they are suicidal, how can you be able to help them? So that will be our conversation next Tuesday. May the Lord bless you so much. This is God of Wonder TV. My name is Karamu Mwangi. I pray that we will be able to be more sensitive and be able to save as many as we can. And please, as much as you can, don't be a contributor to that person that will end their life because of you. God bless you.